everyone, I'm John Lynn, the founder and chief editor at Healthcare IT Today. We're excited to bring you another in our series of interviews with top leaders in health IT. And our guest today is Julia Goebel. She is Chief Marketing Officer at Komodo Health. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's so good to have you here. Longtime friend of the show and of Healthcare IT Today. But for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and Komodo Health.
Yeah, I'm happy to. So I'm Chief Marketing Officer of Komodo Health. I've been with the organization almost 2 years. And what I am most excited about is, as a technology platform, we are seeking to shorten the time to insights using an unparalleled healthcare map that we curate from dozens and dozens of sources to have patient journeys on average of 7 years.
Wow, that's awesome. What do you see as maybe the most significant challenges that healthcare companies face in navigating these market dynamics, and how does Komodo Health kind of help address these?
Well, it is a challenge, and at Health, we're all committed to finding a better way. I think that's one of the things that I love about this conference is we gather the best and brightest companies. We come together and we talk about solving hard problems. I think one of the things that occurs to me is it takes far too long to find insights. And earlier this year, we conducted research with Frost & Sullivan, which revealed it on average took about 7 months to curate, transform, and enhance the data necessary to make decisions, and that's just far too long. Anyone knows that when you have a health incident, whether it's your own or someone you love, 7 months is a lifetime, and so we believe it should be much faster, and that's why we've focused on democratizing the access to information.
That's awesome. I mean, I think one of the other popular topics around data is real-world data. How do you see the role of real-world data evolving in healthcare decision-making over the next 5 years or so, and even with the rise of AI-powered tools, which I think, those are there's an interesting synergy there as well.
100%. AI relies on quality data, and so we've all had, whether it's your casual experience or maybe you ask your child to go use ChatGPT to plan a family trip.
Or they ask you.
More likely. But what's funny is if the data underlying is not accurate, you kind of chuckle because that's not accurate. It is absolutely important in healthcare to have the proper foundational data. And so that's why we're so excited to introduce Map AI, which allows access to the healthcare map in record speed using natural language and proven results.
Talk more about the healthcare map. I mean, I know that was a recent announcement, but to me, it felt like a real evolution of accessing data. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So for most healthcare companies, whether they have a team of data scientists or they rely on consulting and a combination of in-house resources, there is a path and a strategy around AI, a strategy around analytics, but it's not always possible to reach the information as quickly as possible. And so what we're focused on is helping identify and respond to those questions that our customers have, whether they're payers, providers, pharma or others allied to the field, using the no-code experience where you can ask in natural language about the population of diabetes patients who also have an oncology diagnosis. It allows access to the ICD-10 codes, the NPI, all of the information that allows at a glance to understand the healthcare map. It also then allows, what we're most excited about is the introduction of a new product for enterprise, which then takes that information from the business user like myself into the data science world. So they can say, this is the cohort I identified, can you go deeper? And so that really helps shorten the time and improve collaboration between business and data science teams.
Interesting. And how about health equity? I mean, that's a popular topic of conversation here at Health. Yeah. How can technology platforms like Komodo help kind of bridge the gap to care and address the underserved populations?
Yeah, it's really important. So I mentioned the healthcare map has over 330 million de-identified patient lives. We have about 200 million of those with identified race and ethnicity information. So it allows the studies and the cohorts to identify, do we have a representative sample that would reflect the users of a given therapy, a given medication. And we know that's important because there are many case studies and stories of how in testing or in clinical trials, if the study was not representative, it may metabolize differently in different populations. And so we're really committed to unearthing and providing the real world data and the race and ethnicity data to help that happen.
Interesting. The other thing that we see happening a lot is policy changes. Mm-hmm. Healthcare, most regulated, at least in that top regulated industries, right? And there's a lot happening, drug pricing reforms, value-based care initiatives, everything like that. How do you see that kind of influencing the way healthcare organizations use data to make strategic decisions as these changes happen?
Well, I think it's really important to acknowledge that policy is changing in recognition of the market. And in particular, we're noticing the FDA using synthetic control arms as something to consider. So they can use for clinical trial purposes existing real-world data to help inform what would be a placebo. Now, those are early days, but we're very excited about what's happening there. I think the other thing is we are using our information and our market data to help project what is possible for a given therapy. So it allows brand owners, pharmaceutical owners to identify whether their therapy is being adapted and how that is potentially affecting supply chain, which again helps patients access information that they need. Now, it's always important to just rely not only on the policy changes, but also to use your compliance officer, work closely with your privacy officer to ensure that these changes are properly reflecting in your own data use agreements.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done there, I think, and you need the right people who understand about solving the problem, not just using the policy legal frameworks to say no.
Right, exactly. And it's more of a yes, and here's how we might do this.
Yeah.
And, for example, I was speaking with our GC and regarding a compliance matter. It is so important to find the path, and we have great partners in that area.
Yeah, no, it's really important. What would you say are maybe the three most common challenges you hear from healthcare organizations as they're trying to leverage technology and this real-world data that we've talked about to support their decision-making needs?
Well, it is a challenge, and I think one of the things that we have to acknowledge is healthcare is traditionally very risk-averse. And so it's about making informed decisions with the data that you can have available as quickly and as effectively as possible. That means that wherever possible, if you can shorten the time to insights, which we feel very passionate about, it allows better decision making. And we hope action. And so we're all biased toward action. That is the correct next step. And that's why we're most excited about where we're headed in the market.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to someone last night about Komodo Health, and they said they're one of the best kept secrets in healthcare because you have so much data to actually improve the situation, the care, the reimbursement, whatever it might be. So I think it's so fascinating to hear the work you're doing and the way you've collected this data to put it into action, right? And I think that's the powerful thing. It's a decade-long journey, right?
We're celebrating 10 years this year, and I think it's a hallmark of our founders who felt 10 years ago there must be a better way. And they've been steadfast in that mission to help access information and help their clients solve challenges, not only as consultants as they were, but even within life sciences as they were previously.
Sure.
In particular, I have to smile about your well-kept secret because as a CMO, our job is to tell the story. And so we're very excited in this 10th year to tell the story in a bigger, broader way so that we can amplify our clients' success stories, celebrate their wins, and then, of course, we hope meet customers where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think there's been an evolution of should we be using the data, right? Like 10 years ago, there wasn't as much, there was more skepticism.
That's
Today,
exactly right.
It's more accepted, like if you're not, you should be.
Well, and we know that the advantaged leaders are ones who are using the resources at their disposal. We think they're positioned to have first mover advantage. We like to call it the velocity advantage. And that's why we're setting the standard for evidentiary leadership.
Beautiful. I love that. Velocity advantage. That's awesome.
Yes.
So where can people go to learn more about Komodo Health?
Always go to komodohealth.com. You can follow us on the socials, and we're always happy to talk about our offering.
Thanks, Julia. I appreciate
It's
you
great to
taking
be
time
here.
to talk with
Good
me.
to see you, John. Thank you.
And thanks everyone for watching and listening. If you want to find more great healthcare IT content like this, be sure to check it out at healthcareittoday.com or search for Healthcare IT Today on your favorite podcasting applications. Thanks, Julia.
Thanks, John.